Okay. So this week we read chapters 16 through 19. And I want to know, like, what are you guys, how are you feeling about the book? I just got a notification from my own live. That's funny. So how are you guys feeling so far? How are you liking the book? I'm finding these chapters, like, these are shorter chapters. So I don't know. I'm really liking this book a lot better than I'm liking season 2 of the show. And that hurts my heart to say, but I do. Yeah, I love it. Okay. So in chapter 16, Jamie is still spending time with Prince Charles, but he's not really getting any information of worth from him. The book will always be better. Because all Prince Charles wants to do... Let me move this over because I'm not... Sorry. I need to make coffee immediately after this because I'm so tired. Facts. So all Prince Charles wants to do is talk about Louise and talk about hunting. Hi, good morning. But the good news is Jamie has beaten the Minister of Finance in chess, not just once, but several times. So Jamie and Claire keep getting invited to Versailles for a chess rematch, right? And Claire is using this time to, wander around, be around the ladies, and also like collect the gossip that's going around. And she mentions too that she's staying out of alcoves, which cracked me up. So Claire is speaking with the ladies of the court, and she's learning that the Stuart, any hope of a Stuart restoration to the throne is like really not important to the French aristocracy, right? Like they just don't care. And one of the ladies even tells Claire that King Louis is not very happy because he thinks that Charles should have had permission to come to Paris. So he's already kind of mad. So Claire and Jamie end up staying in an apartment in the palace again, and they are ready to get a good night's rest. But poor Claire, she's dreaming of these snakes inside her stomach, and she's dreaming like it hurts, and she can't, So Jamie ends up waking her up. And when she wakes up, she says that the snakes are still there. She's in an immense amount of pain, and the royal physician ends up being fetched to help. And he tells Jamie that there's most likely something wrong with her gallbladder or her liver. And I love how Claire is just like in this immense amount of pain, and she's like, idiot. Like he's an idiot. And so the physician says that she must be bled, which in that time was just common practice. Good morning. Bitter cascara. So Claire knows better, and she's like, don't you dare let this man touch me. So she tells Jamie, stop them. So Jamie has them leave, and Claire notices, because at this point, like everyone has gathered in the room, right, to figure like the drama, right? And so there's a bunch of ladies in the room, and Claire noticed one of them talking to the other, and she sees her say the word poison. But Claire knows it's not poison, it's bitter cascara. Who sells poison as bitter cascara? Master Raymond. So she goes to Master Raymond, and she is PO'd, right? She's so mad. And he tells her, well, you're not dead, so but you could have been. And thankfully he does sell bitter cascara as poison, as poison. And Claire realizes, oh crap, this wasn't someone like pulling a prank on me, or yeah, Master Raymond, the OG, but did you die? She realizes at this point, like, oh my gosh, this wasn't someone like just doing this for like not fun, but as a joke. Like someone was really trying to poison me. So Master Raymond tells her that he's only had 2 people ask for that. And one of them was a Vicomtesse, and ironically enough, is the wife of the man that followed Claire into the alcove. And he tells Claire, you know, she's very jealous, but, you know, you'll be safe. If this is her, you'll be fine because she's not going to try it again. Like, that was good enough for her. But Claire is worried that it's not her. And Master Raymond tells her the only other person that I've sold to is a man that I didn't know. So Master Raymond takes Claire into this little like secret room that he has. And he has this huge collection of animal skulls. And they talk about them, and then Claire ends up giving him, or Master Raymond ends up giving Claire a white crystal. He says it's for protection. Now, one thing I did note is he talks about sulfur because she's like, is it magic? And he gives her, like, he puts down a thing of sulfur, and he said something about how, you know, basically like, is our matches or gunpowder like, oh, I shouldn't have said that on there, sorry. That kind of powder, like, are they magic? I'm surprised that she didn't pick up on that because matches haven't been invented yet. So him mentioning matches, I'm surprised that didn't perk her up, you know, and think, because they lit a lot of candles back then. So surely she would have been like, I miss matches. You know what I mean? He did. He said matches. Let me see if I can find it really quick. Yeah. Sulfur, grind it with a few other small things, touch it with a match, and it will explode. Pew pew powder, is that magic, or is it only the nature of sulfur? So I'm surprised that she wasn't like, because you know, like, that's all they have was candles. So she's probably in her mind thinking like, I really miss matches right about now. I don't know. I just thought that was weird that, you know, Claire being so observant, she, I want to mark that. Mark me. Sorry. Anyway, so he gives her this, you know, white crystal for protection. And then they hear Jamie out in like the lobby area. And he had ridden with Claire on the way there, but he had stayed in the carriage. And he must have just got tired of waiting on her, so he went inside. But before Claire goes out to meet Jamie, Master Raymond tells her that the crystal will change color in the presence of certain like compounds. So basically, if she's in the presence of poison, like, it's going to change colors. And he warns her, like, you could be in danger. So, you know, pretty much like, wear that at all times because you could be in danger. So she goes out of the shop to meet Jamie, and I love how Master Raymond is so fearful of, I mean, I don't love it, but I think it's funny. He's so fearful of Jamie, like he's hiding, you know, and he ends up, that whole part was just hilarious. You know, Jamie's just, I love how much of like, I feel like we get a better sense of Jamie. Not that we don't in the show, but the book really like gives us a better look into who Jamie is. And so it's just hilarious. So Claire explains to Jamie what Master Raymond's told her. And Master Raymond said he's honestly not sure if it's Jamie or if it's Claire that's in danger, because he's heard the name Fraser spoken in a place, what did he say? Spoken in a place where names are seldom named in blessing. So he doesn't know who that's for. Jamie's more dominant in the books. Yeah, he is. Something tells me she doesn't make many mistakes. Yeah. So they leave, and Claire is kind of like pondering over this. And she remembers what Marguerite had told her about the comp. And there was another one, I think she was the Queen's lady. I'm gonna have to get some water, sorry. But she had they had warned her about the Comte Saint-Germain and how he was possibly involved in witchcraft and this sort of stuff. So Jamie tells her, don't worry, I'm going to have Myrta follow him from now on. Sorry. Seasonal allergies. Gotta love it. My voice comes and goes. So then we're in chapter 17. And I didn't take a lot of notes on this one. If you guys read chapter 19, you'll understand, or 17, you'll know why. There's very little I can talk about. So Jamie is spending much of his time with Prince Charles, and it's started to go well into the night. And Claire has just really become used to going to bed without Jamie. But she wakes up one morning and he's not there. And she, just assumes that he maybe slept on the sofa so he wouldn't wake her up. But she goes out to ask the butler, Magnus, and he says that he didn't come home last night. So Claire's really trying to use that logical part of her brain that's you know what, he probably just stayed at the prince's home. But then that other part of her is I also was just, they thought it was poison. Someone tried to poison me. So Jamie was, chased through alleyways. Is he in danger? And so Jamie comes home, thankfully, and Claire is relieved. But then he tells her he needs a bath, and he undresses, right? And what does she see on his thigh? I was really hoping this wouldn't be in the book. It wasn't technically a slip. Wait, what? I may have missed your comment. But she sees this large bite mark and scratches on his thigh. And he swears to Claire that nothing happened. But, Claire's furious, rightfully so. And they argue. The word for candle wick was close to a match before. Oh, gotcha. Okay. I gotcha. That makes sense, silly. Okay. That makes sense. So they argue about it, and then I'm trying to think. Oh my God, the ring. I was losing it. I was losing it at the ring. If you know the ring, you know the ring. So I can't talk too much about this because it's marital relations. Oh no, you're fine. Thank you, silly, for looking that up, because I was very curious why Claire wouldn't have caught that. So thank you for looking it up. Maybe it's not appropriate for TikTok at all. So probably not even over here, and I'm not comfortable talking about it. So just read chapter 17 if you haven't, and you'll understand why. So they end up having this conversation and coming to an understanding, we'll say. And it's really sweet. The next morning, Claire feels the baby move for the first time. And she wants to tell Jamie, but a part of her also wants to keep it just kind of between her and the baby. And so she doesn't tell him And that was so cute. How she said, I put my hand on the butterfly flaps or like what butterfly wings or something like that. It isn't meant for the fingers. Didn't she like keep holding it? I was like, I would have immediately been like, ugh. Oh my gosh. That cracked me up. I was so mad at Jamie, and then she pulled out that ring. I would have just, nope, thank you. Okay, so chapter 18. And this part, I will say, if you have not read this part in the book yet, chapter 18 might be a little bit of a trigger warning for people that need trigger warnings. So I'm just lightly going to touch on it. Claire, Myrta, and Fergus, and Mary are leaving the hospital. One night, Claire had stayed late. I think there was like an explosion or something, so they had to stay late. There was a lot of patients. And they are basically like set upon by this group of men. And the men knock Myrta out, and they attempt to attack Claire, and they do attack Mary. So one of the men sees Claire because her hood comes down, or her hair comes undone, and he says, La Dame Blanche, and they all like run away. So then they see a man at the end of the alley start running to them and calling for the gendarmes. And as he gets closer, Claire recognizes him as Alex Randall. So he like falls down beside Mary and is trying to comfort her. And then someone drops in front of Claire from the roof, and it's Jamie. I'm like, oh my gosh, I would have a heart attack. But Fergus thankfully had gone to get him. I wonder where he was to be that close, or were they close to their house? So anyway, they, what? I don't know what that means. So they return home, and it turns out they're hosting a dinner party that night. Great. Wonderful. What a perfect time to host a dinner party. So the Duke of Sandringham is the guest of honor, and a lot of people have been invited, including the Minister of Finance, his son. Fergus does know all the shortcuts. That's true. Louise and her husband are coming. Just a bunch of people. And one person that Claire was shocked to learn was coming was the Comte Saint-Germain. So Jamie has Claire's white crystal that Master Raymond gave her. He has it mounted on like a gold, jewelry set so that she can wear it as a necklace. May have been faster across the roofs. It could have. Yeah, you're right. Set so that she can wear it as a necklace. May have been faster across the roofs. It could have. Yeah, you're right. So he tells her, play with your necklace, like fidget with it, mess around with it until someone asks you what it's for. And then when they do that, stare at the comp, because if he's the one that poisoned you, all his emotions show on his face. So you'll figure it out. So they have Mary hidden upstairs, and Claire has given her poppy juice, which I think is just like I don't know how to explain it without like in safe terms for here. But, is Jack Randall in love with Jamie in real, or does he do it? So, no. So, blackjack is a word I can't say here either. So, hang on just a second, you guys. Okay, sorry. Yeah, blackjack is not in love with him. It's, oh my gosh. Sorry, I just wanted to get rid of that person. It's more exactly of an obsession. And silly, I was going to say the other word too, but you put it better. Like he gets a pleasure out of hurting people, and it doesn't matter if it's a man, a woman, he doesn't care. That's that's his thing. Like he likes to make people hurt. Yeah, he doesn't love anybody. No, he loves himself. He's more obsessed with him, I would say. Yeah. So it's more of he wanted to break Jamie, right? Because he tried during the flogging, and he couldn't break him. So it wasn't a love. It was more of I want to like conquer you. I want to break you kind of thing. He didn't hurt Jenny because she laughed. Yeah. Yes. And that's it too, Arya. Like he wants people to be afraid. Like he loves that. He relishes in that. That's true, silly. He does. He loves his brother. So I would say that too. Yeah. He loves himself and he loves his brother, but that's about it. Thank you for asking that though. Sorry. I was just confused. So, okay. Oh, so Mary is upstairs and Claire has given her poppy juice, which basically just like makes her sleep, but it's also can make you like delirious at times, right? So Alex is standing guard over her to watch her. And Jamie tells Claire, he's in love with her, but he knows that I love a poppy juice. Sin. Yes, the O word, silly. Thank you. That's the one I didn't know if I could say on here. Because I don't want to get schmanned. So thank you, buddy love. The O word that silly put in there. I don't want to get in trouble. So that's pretty much what it is. So Jamie tells Claire that Alex is in love with Mary. And Claire's like, well, why wouldn't he just tell her that? Because she would have run away with him. And he says, because Alex is a gentleman and he knows, A, she's already engaged, and B, like he can't provide for her. He has no means to make a life for her. So, hello, Italy. Ciao. Oh, hang on. I need to text Liz. Sorry, pause just a second. Oh. Bestie break. I will. Let me do that. She's just really nervous, you guys. She's doing okay. She's nervous, understandably so. So, yes, so he's in love with her, can't provide for her, all that. Okay, so Jamie and Claire are then like super surprised. Oh. Sorry, you guys. I just need to talk to her because she's very... Mm-hmm. I'm just basically telling her, like, the doctors are capable and everything and trying to, like, reassure her. Sorry, besties first. Oh, thank you, Pasha. Thank you so much. Yeah, so for anybody that doesn't know, my best friend Liz, her husband is in surgery this morning, and it's an outpatient surgery. It should all should be fine, but understandably she's very nervous and just having a lot of emotions this morning. So besties always come first, so I just wanted to, check back in with her. Yeah, and Mr. Liss. I love that so much. Prayers for Liss and Mr. Liss. So Jamie and Claire were surprised to see that the Duke had invited someone. Yay, Pasha! So I have a link in my bio that will take you to our Fable group. So I go live here every Thursday morning. It's morning for me. I don't know if it's afternoon or evening where you are, but I go live at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time every Thursday on here to talk about the chapters that we've read. And on the Fable group, they break the chapters down individually so we can chat in each individual chapter about what happened, or if you have an idea that you want to share. Thank you so much, Lori. So sometimes there's some great conversations had in there. It's really, it's fun. Oh, Rachel, you're so sweet. Rachel has an Etsy shop too. Thank you, buddy love. Thank you so much. So the Duke has invited Silas Hawkins to dinner. Why is that nerve-wracking? Because his niece is upstairs, unconscious, and has just been assaulted. So during the dinner, the comp announces, Jamie is doing business for his cousin Jared, the wine business. So Jamie's like, oh, why don't, would you care for a glass of wine? It's the best, yada, yada, yada. Well, of course, the comp has to updo that and be like, well, it's actually not the best because I've found one even better that I'm going to be selling soon. Hi, Jennifer. Good morning. And he said, I found an investor that wants to go in on this with me. And everybody's like, who? Charles Stewart. What? So this shocks everyone because it's pretty common knowledge that the Stewarts have no money. And the comp informs them then that the prince has actually secured a loan at an Italian bank. And he's given the whole sum to the comp to, use for expenses for like a ship, for bottling the port, that kind of stuff. So Jamie at this point is just very uncomfortable, and Louise can see that. So she tries to change the subject. So she turns to Claire and asks her about her necklace, and Claire's like, yes, finally. And as soon as she starts to answer her, Caitlin, I love you, thank you. As soon as Claire starts to answer her, they hear like this blood-curdling scream from upstairs. And the scream is descending down the stairs. So they go and see what's happening. And it's Mary screaming. And her shift was all ripped apart and everything from the attack. So she's like holding it together. And who is chasing her down the stairs? Alex. So this looks really bad. Everyone is just kind of gathered around, and Claire is aware of what this looks like, that Alex has just assaulted Mary and is now chasing her down the stairs because she's yelling, no, let go, like, get off me, blah, blah, blah. So some of the men start to go up the stairs to get to Alex, and Jamie kind of looks at Claire like, should I intervene, And so he kind of does this like acrobatic, like jumping over things, and then he lands on the stairs in front of those guys and he just knocks Alex out. That's one way to do it. Such a scandal at a dinner party. Who would have? Only Jamie and Claire's dinner party. This only happens to Jamie and Claire. So Claire is able, in chapter 19, Claire is able to give Mary more poppy juice, and she kind of lays, Mary down by Alex. And so Jamie, the general that's there, and Silas Hawkins are all arguing on the stairs. And Silas makes the poor decision of I think, so he insults Jamie and Claire. I think Jamie would have taken that insult on the chin, but he called Claire the W word. You don't say anything bad about Claire in front of Jamie. Not a good idea. So Jamie knocks Silas out too. So the comp is, down with the rest of the people, and he's just living for this. He's like, yeah, go ahead and punch out the general too, because you've already taken out, Alex and Silas, so go ahead. And bless, well, and I want to say this too. Yeah, he did. He punched him so nonchalantly. He was like, boom. I need to point out too that why is the comp loving this? Because it gives him more ammunition against Jamie and Claire, right? Because he's thinking they're ruined. They are ruined, and I get to witness it. Like, I'm getting to witness it happen. I've been spreading all these things, about Claire and about Jamie, and now people are seeing it. Knuckle sandwiches for all. Did anybody find the trauma in the show that Jamie went through? Absolutely. I think we all agree on here that what Jamie went through in the show was way too much. In the book, yes, they discuss the same things, but I just felt like in the show, they could have had the same effect with, a fade to black, or just Jamie talking about it with Claire. That's enough for me to be like, oh my gosh, So they absolutely did it. Yeah, they absolutely did it for the views. It did. I agree, Beautiful Light. It did. I found it, not that it's easy to read, but it didn't make me sick to my stomach the way watching it did. I watched it once and I will never ever watch it again. It was for shock value for sure. You're right, Elizabeth. Yeah, but it was unnecessary. So the comp is living for this, and Jamie ends up being arrested along with Alex, and Myrta makes sure to go too. So Claire was actually finally someone talking. Hi Riley. Yay. So Riley, I have a book club if you would like to join us. We are on Dragonfly and Amber, and we're discussing this week chapters 16 through 19. Sorry, only just joined the live. Oh, sorry, I missed your comment. What was unnecessary? Oh, the end of season 1, like everything that was done to Jamie, I just don't feel like it needed to be like shown that much, or I don't know, like the book was much easier to digest, I feel like, than the show. Like the show made me so sick to my stomach. I just felt like it was too much. Yeah, it was. Oh my God, Bessie. And for those just joining, my best friend is waiting on her husband in surgery, so she's texting me. I take it back and stick with y'all. Yay! Yes, I'm here to stay. I finished Dragonfly and Amber. You're on Drums of Autumn now. Wow. So you may be a faster pace than us. So we read about 50 pages a week. That's what we kind of voted on was doable for everyone. So I hope that speed's okay with you. If not, like read at your own pace, and you're more than welcome to come and discuss with us. I have a Fable group in the link in my bio. If for anyone that wants to join, just click the link and it'll say, are you sure you want to or basically it just tells you that the link is taking you outside of TikTok. So just hit okay, and it'll take you to all the links that I have. And there's a Fable link that you can do. It's a free app, totally free to download. But we'd love to have you here. And I go live every Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, thank you so much, Silly. Yeah, we are also doing the Lord John Gray novellas in between. Basically, we're reading them in the order that Diana suggests. So we would love to have you. Anyone that's new here, welcome. We would love to have you. Okay. So, yes. So Claire was actually... Oh, yay! That's so exciting. Beautiful light. So Claire was actually almost arrested too, but Jamie was going to go down swinging, right? He was not going to let them take her. So luckily they didn't find him on it because she's pregnant. So yeah. Exactly. Like, I love the more people that join and add their thoughts. And so what I do every Thursday is I just kind of recap the chapters that we've read, and people in the comments, like, just feel free to add your thoughts if you noticed anything, if something was interesting to you. I love to hear your guys' thoughts, and because sometimes it's something I never thought of. So I love hearing what you guys have to say too. And if you miss any of the lives, I'm also dual streaming on YT. So if you miss any of it, I have it available to rewatch on YT. And that link is in my bio too. Jamie was going to throw some hands. He's like, you're not going to take my wife. So I thought this part is so cute, how Jamie tells Fergus to look over Claire, and boy does he. He is just, oh my gosh, he's so sweet. He stays up with Claire because he tries to get Claire to go to bed and she won't. And he's like, well, I'm not going to bed then either. So he helps her take down her hair and he brushes it for her. And he tells her that he used to do it for the women at the brothel. And we learn that he was actually born at the brothel, but he doesn't know who his mom is. Yeah, I am on YT. I mean, no one really joins me live over here. It's mostly on TikTok, but I do have several people that either aren't in, like, this time zone doesn't work for them, and they rewatch. So it is super helpful for the people that can't make it. He is such a good boy. Yeah, Fergus is like Jamie, stubborn and true to his word. Absolutely. Absolutely. So Jamie then returns home and tells Claire that the Minister of Finance, bless him, Duvernay, spoke for him and told the courts that he's come to know Jamie and have a relationship with him, and he can't see him as the kind of man that would, like, lure unsuspecting women to his home just to be assaulted. Like, he's not that kind of person. Wait, I need to log into both. Oh, Lori, you're so sweet. I know, he has had a rough time. I was happy you do YT because I miss. Yay! Yeah. I'm glad you guys suggested it to me because I never really thought about it. And then I had so many people that are like, can I rewatch this? Can I, so I'm glad you guys suggested it. So Myrta comes in then, right? And he kneels before Jamie and he tells Jamie, I failed you, and as my chief, I want you to unalive me, take my life, right? I've let you down. And Jamie's not going to hear any of this, right? So he tells Myrta, I'm not your chief. You've sworn no oath to me, so I can't do that. Oh, thank you, silly. So Myrta says, actually, I did swear you an oath when you were about a week old. And he says that he knelt at Ellen's feet and swore that he would follow Jamie always, do his bidding and guard his back when he became a grown man. And he tells Jamie, I love you like my own son, but I've betrayed you. This part made me so sad. But Jamie's not going to hear it. He will not accept it. He tells him, you haven't betrayed me and you never could. But he knows he does feel like he has failed him. So he's like, well, I will have you take an oath if you're up for it. Lord Dompe all day. Thank you, Lori. Yeah, I also have a fun little thing for anybody new that my bestie and I go live a lot together. Her name is Dinafash Sassenach Liss on here. And she gets the cowboy hats and says Roger Mac Daddy. and I get the little crowns and say Lord John Bay all day. It's just something funny we do here. So Roger Mac Daddy, she does it so funny. Thank you, Lori. It's just something funny we do. So he tells Myrta, this oath that I'll have you take is to find these men that did this, hunt them down, and exact vengeance for my wife and for Mary. And so Myrta then turns to Claire and he bows to her and he says, basically, as my chief commands it, I'm going to do it and I will lay vengeance at your feet. So if there's one thing we know, it's you can count on Myrta, right? You can count on Myrta. So next week, I have us down to read chapters 20, 21, and 22. So in my hardback cover, that is 56 pages. I want a Myrta in my life. He's awesome. That is one thing I'm glad the show changed, is more Myrta. So yes, next week, chapters 20 through 22. It's 56 pages in mine. I think if you have the mass market copy, it's a lot more than that, but I think the original paperback is the same, I think. So I'm really excited. I peeked the next chapter, chapter 20. Thank you, Caitlin, is La Dame Blanche. So I'm excited for that. Okay. So I'm going to end on YouTube or YT because we're done with the recap over there. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next Thursday, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, chapters 20 through 22.